I'm Dr. Mark Lindholm, and I'm so excited to tell you about my book, A Doctor's Perspective on CBD, Science, Success Stories, and Changed Lives. So I'm a chiropractor with over 26 years of clinical experience, which really gives me an interesting perspective on this whole topic of using CBD or full spectrum hemp oil with my patients, observing the benefits that they've had, but also being able to really look at the research, which is part of what I do in the book, is going through the science behind the endocannabinoid system in a full spectrum hemp oil. So I've been asked, what do you hope that people take away from reading this book? And I always tell my patients that knowledge is power, and I really believe that. I think that's a really important thing when you're talking about healthcare, and especially with this topic, I think it's really important. So that's my primary takeaway I'm hoping for people, is that they are more knowledgeable after reading this book about CBD and the endocannabinoid system and how it can help their health and help their family's health. So I've been asked, was there a motivating force, or what was my motivation behind writing this book? And it really had to do with, first of all, my personal experience I had with an injury I had, and you can read about that in the book, about how I use CBD personally to help with the healing of that injury. But it was much more than that. It was as I looked at the research, as I spent months looking at the PubMed and National Institute of Health Research, and when I read all of the amazing things that the endocannabinoid system does and that CBD does for human health, I really had the idea, like, why do we not know about this? Why is there not more information readily available about this? So I really felt like I had a moral obligation to share this information with the public. I was a skeptic to begin with. As a matter of fact, some of the things I had read about CBD and read about hemp didn't really make me in favor of it. I was honestly very ignorant about what it was. I really thought, like a lot of Americans, that hemp and CBD was just kind of like a code word for marijuana, or that it was another form of marijuana, which I go into great detail in my book explaining kind of that misconception, and that really isn't true. I would encourage you to pick up my book, because I discuss all of that in my book. And it's not just my opinion, but I actually look at the research. The book is very factually based, but I also went to great extent to try to make the book very readable. So it's interspersed with personal stories, testimonials of people that have benefited from CBD. I really spent a lot of time editing this book to make it very readable. And that's some of the feedback I've gotten from people, honestly, is people telling me, like, I got your book and I couldn't put it down. I stayed up till 2 in the morning because I had to finish it before I went to bed, or those kinds of responses. Maybe you're struggling with aches and pains like many people are. Maybe you're struggling with not sleeping well, feeling like you've got a lot of stress in your life, if you have anxiety you're dealing with. If you're not aware of it, these are things that the endocannabinoid system has a big effect on, and that full spectrum hemp oil, or CBD, can really help with. So I would really encourage you to check out my book, A Doctor's Perspective on CBD, the Science, Success Stories, and Changed Lives, to get the answers that might make a huge difference in your health or the health of your family.